standing by on the phone line, so we're going to get right to it this morning. Our friend and healthy living expert, Judy Gaman, joins us once again. Judy, always a pleasure to have you on. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, but I got to tell you, if you started your day with a protein shake, you might not be.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's coming strong out of the box there, Judy. That's a very bold statement. Why do you say that?
Well, because there's this new study out of the University of Sydney that says these protein shakes, powders, supplements, all this may not be as healthy as we thought. Now, think about this. This is a $14 billion industry. They got us right where they want us. We are convinced the more protein we take in, the better off we are. But this study says not so fast, because it's making us moody, it's making us fat, and it could be shortening our lives.
Now, let me ask you this. Now, you say the protein shakes. Now, are these the ones made with the protein powder? Are these the ones that are ready made? Is there a particular difference here? What did the Australian study?
So they looked at the protein powders, but usually when you get protein shakes, even if you're out and you get them, they're using these powders. These powders are how they put it into these shakes. But the problem is that these powders contain a heavy dose of BCAA. So that's branched-chain amino acids. Okay. And when we take in too much of this, it gets in our bloodstream, because it can't go to our muscles right away. People think, I eat this protein, it goes to my muscle. No, it goes in your bloodstream first. So when it's in the bloodstream, it actually is competing with tryptophan. And tryptophan is known for creating serotonin. The serotonin is the happy chemicals. So think about this. You get up in the morning and you have a big protein shake. You just took in 30, 40 grams of protein. Your body is having these branched-chain amino acids floating around, telling the tryptophan, sorry, you can't go to the brain. So the brain's not getting the serotonin it needs, and this is what causes the moodiness and the irritability.
All right, I have a question. I have somebody, in fact, somebody that's texting me while we're chatting this morning, and their question would be, what about if I do an early morning workout and then I have my shake? Then does the protein and all of what comes with it get called to the damaged micro tears in the muscles?
Well, if you are working out and you're following up with protein, yes, that's a good thing.
Okay.
But as always, you're better off having some chicken, carrying some boiled eggs with you to the gym. You know, chicken, eggs, beans, lentils, nuts, soy. That's really the way to go. Natural sources of protein. Now, if you want to have these protein powders, these supplements, these shakes, just be careful. Be mindful of how many of these you eat. You know, every other day is okay. If you're really heavily working out, maybe once a day. But if you start getting moody, cut back. Or if you start seeing more fat than muscle, cut back. The rule of thumb for protein, it's really a calculation. You take your weight and you multiply it by 0.36, and that's the number of grams of protein you should have. So the average, middle-sized man gets about 56 grams of protein, or should get. So if you think about these bars that are already at 30 and 40, and people are eating them, and they're eating them like candy, right? So they might get up, have breakfast, and they go, I need a snack. Let me grab a protein bar. That's not what they were intended for. And so they're taking in these protein bars, maybe one or two a day, and then they're eating their regular meals. Their protein levels are way higher than they need to be.
What worries me, Judy Gaman joining us on Memphis Morning, what worries me, Judy, is I see those protein bars, and they're high in protein, but it's almost a 1-to-1 on carbs as well.
Yeah, that's such a good point. So if you're working out, that's okay. But, boy, if you're sitting behind the desk saying, I need a snack, or it's the lunchtime, you grab a protein bar, and then you continue to sit behind that desk, that's where the pounds start just packing on. They're full of that. But also, we got to be really mindful of all these additives. There's a reason that they can put a protein bar inside of a wrapper, and it's still good a year from now. You don't want things that in your gut that are still good a year from now. There's a reason we don't swallow preservatives, or we shouldn't be swallowing preservatives. We want that stuff to go through, do its job, and go out. So you got to be careful with all these additives and all these things that go in to make these protein bars palatable and make them actually have a shelf life.
This is really frustrating. I think I'm getting more depressed as we talk, Judy, just because you have so many people that are tempted by the vending machine, which is, it's right there, and usually they're not very healthy options. But then you have people that go to the trouble to go to a specific shop to get these things, and now you find out that perhaps they're not quite as good as you think you're getting, and especially for the trouble, you're going to make that choice.
Well, you're absolutely right, and this is where the marketing dollars come in. And it's also where education comes in. One of the things that we do at Executive Medicine of Texas is we really talk to our patients about their nutrition. A lot of times doctors aren't talking to their patients about nutrition. If you have someone who comes in and they're moody and they have all these issues, maybe they're depressed, and you aren't asking them about their nutrition, and you're just writing a script for antidepressants, you're doing them a huge disservice. This is a great example. If you had somebody who is having one or two of these a day, and we know that these branched-chain amino acids can be causing moodiness, but you're never taking that away, and you're just sticking a Band-Aid on it, you're not doing them any favors.
Yeah. Today, one thing somebody could do today, a change that they could make, what would you suggest?
If you're supplementing your protein, just take whatever you're supplementing, cut it in half, and replace it with chicken, eggs, beans, lentils, nuts, soy, natural sources of protein, and just see if it changes your mood. See if it changes your body composition a little bit.
All right, terrific. Judy, always a pleasure to talk with you, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you again real soon. Always love hearing from you, Judy.
Thanks.
All right, there's Judy Gaman, Memphis Morning News.